Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, episode 108. Tonight, we're talking about a new Nintendo Direct. And guess what? It was E3 week, kind of, because all of the Directs happened this week. We got a PlayStation Play, we got a Nintendo Direct, there was a Ubisoft presentation, there was a Disney Game Showcase. We're talking all of that and more. Theme song is a little loud this time for me. I don't know if that's the case for everybody else. Well, greetings, fellow Nintendo Pals. My name is Andros, and this is the Nintendo Pals Podcast, the show all about Nintendo and friendship. And I am joined, as I am joined each and every week, by my fellow Nintendo pal, Micah.
Yup.
And Micah, I always gotta ask, how the heck are ya?
And I always gotta say, pretty good.
Nice.
It says in my contract, that's how I have to answer that question.
Oh, we have contracts. I didn't know.
You don't know? Who wrote up these contracts then?
Our content manager. I mean, she totally could have written up contracts. We don't know. Well, I'm glad to hear you're doing pretty good. I am also doing pretty good. And you know what, Micah? I have had a fun week. I had a vacation. We're recording this a little later than normal. I'll probably talk a bit more about my vacation in our Nintendo Pals Plus episode, which will be available for patrons over on patreon.com/NintendoPals. Any level gets to listen to Nintendo Pals Plus, our show after the show, where we talk about
stuff.
Anything we want, yeah. As Micah says, the intro to that. Oh no, the intro to that show. You say the thing.
I don't remember the thing I say off the top of my head.
Where we talk.
Yes.
Can't remember that.
I needed the context. It's very complicated.
I can only channel that
as it sounds
on that show. Yeah. I understand. I understand completely. But I know that you understand completely what we're going to be doing here tonight, that we try and do each and every podcast recording night and podcast night. And that is...
Also, I mean, why don't we just try it every night? Why limit ourselves?
The same thing we try to do every night. We try to take over the world of Nintendo podcasts, and we do that through 5-star reviews. Each and every week, we shout out 5-star reviews given to us at the start of the show. This is where we do it. We do not have a new 5-star review to shout out this week. Sad. Very sad. You could change that by leaving a 5-star review right now. Go on down, go to your Apple Podcast review spot, go to Podchaser, go to Spotify, go to Audible, and leave a 5-star review. You can write some words or not. You could just leave something there anonymously. We appreciate that too. We'll shout you out anonymously. Hey, you, we appreciate you. Thanks for what you're doing. But yeah, seriously, it helps us out a ton, helps the show get seen by more people. We show up a lot higher in search results the more reviews that we have, and the more often we get reviews. So keep them coming, keep them going. It's the fuel that keeps us going on this train of taking over the world of podcasts. So yeah. That's all I have to talk about that. Plugged Patreon, plugged 5-star reviews. Anything else I'm forgetting? I guess we should probably mention, for those watching the video portion of the episode, Mikey, you have a whole bunch of names next to your head.
I do. I mean, I don't know. I'd say a whole bunch. I'd probably say a few.
Okay. Yeah.
Potentially several.
Several. Okay. Yeah. Several names.
I
I
think
have some as well.
a few is 3 to 4, I would say, and then
They're
several is
there,
more.
but my lens is making them blurry, but they're there. That is a Patreon reward for the people at the Try to Take Over the World tier on Patreon. On Patreon. We have several different tiers, and it really helps us out. It helps us to get new equipment and invest in tools and things for the show that help make it better, as well as our overall content. Because we're not just podcasters; we have our own YouTube channels, and we do streaming. We do a whole bunch. With Nintendo Pals, it's becoming a content empire of sorts, and we love doing it all. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun, and any support anybody can give on that front for Patreon is awesome, but it is totally optional because just listening or just watching or checking out the stuff is also a great way to support. 5-star reviews are free though, so you could do that. I mean, just saying, that's free. That's a free thing you could support a show with. Might as well do it. Speaking of might as well do it, Micah, why don't we head to the first segment of our show? Let's go talk about what we've been playing in What You Playing. Micah, what have you been playing lately?
Well, I finally picked up Splatoon 3 this last week, and I've played that a bit. Really enjoying the salmon run.
I have yet to try Salmon Run. I really haven't had a lot of time to dive into this game.
How dare
So tell me, how is it? How is Salmon Run?
It's good.
It's
Micah
good.
approved.
One yup out of one yup.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like 3 waves and potentially a 4th wave. So it's pretty short. But you can play it a bunch. And there's some good variety with the waves and different bosses. And sometimes they're kind of special events.
Are the weapons random that you are assigned, or do you get to pick your
They
loadout?
swap out, I think it's every 36 hours or something like that. They swap out for the 4 weapons. So at the beginning of each wave, you are assigned a random weapon of the 4. And no duplicates in the group of 4.
Okay.
So each person gets one and you like cycle through.
Nice.
Sometimes you fight the Godzilla fish. It's like an extra special boss. I can't remember what he's actually called.
Godzilla fish. Very technical naming we've got going here. I don't remember what he's called either. But he does look
Something
like Godzilla.
Kahuna-ish.
Yeah. I have also been playing Splatoon 3, but because I was on vacation, I played a lot of the single player. Played through the campaign.
I haven't quite got into that yet, actually.
Well, I won't. There's some twisty twists that you may not expect.
I've heard.
And I am intrigued to see where it goes story wise. I was not expecting what happened. For the there's an initial boss, and then I guess it's the second boss. But before the second boss is when the twist is. But yeah. Anyways, it was good. I'm liking it. I like that the campaign basically is just little levels that emphasize a weapon or loadout and like train you on how to use that. I feel like I need to play through the campaign in full before deciding like what my online loadout will be. There was a level where you know that like squid Spider-Man power up that you get where you have that on permanently. It was so fun. I was like, holy cow, this is way cooler than it was in the Splatfest test where it's like really limited. You have like 10 seconds of it.
Something.
Yeah. And then it's done. It was like when it was a permanent thing, it was really an interesting level. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with the campaign. I think you'll enjoy it too, especially since you haven't played much beyond the first Splatoon.
Yeah, I should
Great way
probably
to.
look up the second Splatoon.
We have in chat here. Speaking of Splatfest, Big Man is going down again. Ooh, big talk. Big talk. Unfortunately, it's not going to be that way because Big Man has once again chosen the best answer. So I think Big Man's got this one in the bag. Although if it's like last time and he's winning at the halfway, he'll just get crushed in the stinking tri-splat. So maybe there's strategy here. You kind of got to throw the game so that you're not
Throw a
in the
bunch of
lead.
matches at first.
Yeah. Please don't do this, Nintendo. Just make tri-splat even. Don't make it there be like this weird meta of we have to lose matches in order to win. I'm excited for the next Splatfest, but what we're gonna dive into that announcement. See what I did there? Dive. That was totally intentional. When we talk a little bit more about the direct in the news. But Mike, any other games you want to highlight you played this week?
They finally put the original Earthworm Jim on the, I guess, like the Sega Genesis online portion of the NSO. So I've been playing through that, and I finally made it past the third level, which was the level I had been stuck on as a child, and there's like 8. So that's been
Earthworm
pretty
Jim
great.
is great. Yeah, Earthworm Jim's fantastic. I need to play this because I played a lot of Earthworm Jim 2 on the SNES growing up, but we didn't have the first one because I don't think it was on a Nintendo system.
I don't know if Earthworm Jim 2 has a cow, but in this game, there's
It
a
does.
cow.
That says well done.
No, you like launch it into orbit essentially. I don't remember if it ever says well done.
No, so at the end of the levels, there's not the cow that goes well done.
I have no
No?
recollection of that.
Well, you need to go play the other game. Just beat one level so you can get that, and then you can hit different buttons and you can speed it up or slow it down. Well done. Well done. It's great. And it's just a picture of a cow saying well done. Its mouth moves. Oh man. Earthworm Jim is such a wacky
fantastic.
game.
Yeah.
I love the IP. I think it's a fun one in that regard. I might have played the first game on PC. It like sounds so familiar to me. Like looking at it, I was like, this looks and sounds. I have like vague memories of this.
Do you
So
remember a level underwater in your little like glass submarine?
No. I remember a level where you lose your suit and you're just a naked worm. Is that
kind
game?
of happens in a couple segments.
Yeah.
But not like a whole level.
Yeah, okay. So I probably have played it. But I'll go play it again. Because that and a bunch of other stuff got added to Sega Genesis Online. But we'll talk about that more too. We have so much news to talk about.
So
any other games?
Played a little Majora's Mask.
Nice.
Gathered up those Zora eggs. And then I'm apparently supposed... Well, first of all, they hatch. And they align themselves musically on like a scale. And they each symbolize a single note. And they make a song that you learn. And then you're supposed to go play that song to the person who gave birth to them. And it had been so long that I have no recollection who that is or where I'm supposed to go. So instead, I went back to town and decided to deposit all of my rupees and got attacked by this flippin' vulture thing that stole 130 rupees from me right outside the town and then just flew off.
Nice.
A little salty about that still.
So you didn't get those rupees back?
No, I did not.
Oh, that's rough. That's real rough.
Yeah, it was a bummer. But and then I played and actually finished Metroid Prime. One of the greatest games ever made.
I'm sure.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
I don't know, no. Haven't played it.
Although it is kind of weird going back to a game that is like a one-stick shooter. You have your one stick for moving and aiming.
Yeah. which they changed in the Wii port, right?
Yeah,
You could
because
aim
I think you
with
could
motion.
walk, yeah, and then you just aim with the motion.
Mm-hmm. So
But
that,
it they it works pretty well still, anyways. It
nice.
was a lot of fun.
Could always play the trilogy, Napsy says. I could. Someone could find me that kind of time. I'll do it.
Yeah. Actually, that reminds me. Have you started Elden Ring yet? Because you were
Oh,
challenged to
shoot.
play that.
No, I will start that though. I completely spaced it. I was on vacation too. I didn't have a lot of time to play
Blame it
games
on
this week.
vacation.
Yeah, I'll blame it on vacation. I am planning on picking that up and playing it for sure, and I have not a lot of time left to do that, so that'll be a thing I do this week. For sure. But you know what I did play? I played a little bit of Splatoon through the campaign. I also played a little bit of Spelunky. And
Got 1 million gold?
Not yet. Not yet. I always have something just ridiculous happen to me. Like get stunned.
Not being very good at the game.
Yeah, mostly that. And that's all I played this week. I was on vacation. didn't have a lot of downtime to do gaming. But yeah. No Breath of the Wild this week. None. I did not play Breath of the Wild this week. It's probably the first week in a while I haven't played Breath of the Wild. Don't worry, I'll be making up for that for sure because I got to play through more. I also have to watch my son play through it because we got to finish his run of the game so that we can make that video. Well, that's what we've been playing. So let's move to the next segment of our show.
But before we do that, we'd like to tell you about our sponsor.
Yes, support for Nintendo Pals is brought to you by Manscaped.
My body is ready. Ready for manscaping, that is.
Well, now you can kick butt and take names with the Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped. Inside, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver deodorant for down under, the Crop Reviver toner, plus 2 free gifts, Performance Boxer Briefs, and the Shed Travel Bag.
Yes, and the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer is also waterproof, so you can trim that hair even in the shower. And while you're at it, you can use the Ultra Premium 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner and Ultra Premium body wash to get clean. And really, if you aren't using Manscaped products, what's wrong with you?
Okay, that's all the time we've got. We've got to get back to playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on our Nintendo 3DS.
But before we go, we want to let you know that you can get 20% off plus free shipping with our code NPALS at manscaped.com.
That's NPALS at manscaped.com. My body is ready. Oh, thanks everybody for everybody who putting up with us and no for checking out Manscaped. They're fantastic to work with, and they let us do these goofy ad reads where we put our own little Nintendo spin, or in this case, a little bit of originator on it. So yeah, definitely check them out. Highly recommend it. I use their products all the time. I even brought my Crop Reviver toner spray on vacation, so in case I needed an emergency spritz of good smell. Just it smells good. It's good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, let's move to the next segment of our show, Micah, and let's talk about this is the bulk of what we're going to be talking about on this podcast. That is the Nintendo news. All righty. There was a Nintendo Direct.
Square
rumors,
Enix Direct.
and a PlayStation Direct, and a Disney Marvel Game Showcase, and Ubisoft Forward. All within the time that we recorded last and this episode. When we last recorded, we were talking about the rumors, and I was like, I don't think it's gonna happen. And then it did. But I want to be very clear here that Jeff Grubb might have been right about a direct happening. But boy, oh boy, was he wrong about what was in it. Like, spoilers, there was no Zelda remakes. There's no Metroid Prime remake. And so for him to get like the date right, but those things wrong, I just want everybody just like keep expectations tempered, you know? Like when someone says like there's all this stuff gonna happen, I mean maybe there's some truth in it, but don't get your hopes too crazy. And I feel like that may have tainted the experience for some because they were expecting that, you know? But also, how does he know that stuff? How did he know?
I mean, don't they always have a direct
in September? Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like crazy to predict it. But he got the date down pretty good. It's nice. Sean said that he had predicted it around that time as well. So, you know, who knows? Everybody got their guesses. But this direct was a big one. It's a 40-minute presentation. I think it was a little longer than 40 minutes. And games upon games upon games. I hope you like farm sims, Micah, because we're getting them in droves. In droves. Listen, there are people that are really into that genre of game, and I think this was an awesome direct for fans of that kind of game. But I personally feel like it was a bit overdone. it was like 5 games that are all emphasizing that they are farm sims. But let's just dive right into it. We'll kind of go through this chronologically. We'll maybe skip over some stuff that we're not as interested in. But starting off, Mikey, you want to take the first one? Okay, right out the gate.
Fire Emblem Engage.
Which this one was funny, especially to start with, especially because we were reacting with our buddy Cosmic, who was watching the direct live with us.
Cosmic loves Marth so much.
Cosmic was like, why are they putting so much of Marth into this new Fire Emblem game? And I gotta agree, it's like they really, really like Marth because they like played up his character in Awakening. I mean, he gets special treatment in Smash Bros. You know,
he's had his time to shine. It's time to let someone else shine.
It's time for Ike to fight for his friends again. Although he had 2 games, so I don't know. I don't know if he needs it either. I bet you that he's going to be in it though, because they talk about how one of the gimmicks in the game is that you can call heroes from other worlds to be there.
Is it heroes or is it just Marth?
They specifically said there were more.
Oh, did they?
They called heroes called emblems, but they only showed Marth. So who knows? Maybe it is only Marth.
It's just different versions of Marth.
Yeah, Mute Dog in chat says Cecilia is in it, and that's from another Fire Emblem game. Yep. What do you think of the guy's hair? That's a big.
Oh,
it's a big
fantastic.
Thing. Yeah.
Do you think it's natural though? Is the question.
Half red, half blue. Part Sonic, part Knuckles. See that meme?
No, I missed that one.
Marth like heroes. Yeah, he's half Marth, half Roy. That's what he is. That's why he looks like that. I thought it was. The characters look cool. The game looks interesting. They didn't show too much, honestly. It was a lot of cinematic stuff. Fire Emblem Engage coming early next year. Seems so soon for not knowing about it. But this was leaked. Do you remember talking about the rumor for this one?
Nope.
And it was even leaked that you had two-tone hair.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, but it was way longer. So I think that the main character can probably be both male and female, like in the last several Fire Emblem games.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. There you go. Next up, we have It Takes Two, being a port of It Takes Two is coming to Nintendo Switch. It looked a little rough around the edges on the portions that were like the people portions, but the actual in-game, because do you know the concept of this game, Micah? Is that
Yeah, you need two, obviously.
it takes two to make a thing go right. It's a couple that has essentially decided to split and divorce, and they get cursed and turned into little dolls that their daughter plays with, pretending that they're a happy family. And so they turn into these little dolls, and people can't see them, but they can still like do things in the real world. And their goal is to solve puzzles together and try and get back to normal. So there you go. Those portions of the game look good, but the actual human models looked kind of strange to me. Just a little rough, because they were like pretty realistic in the original game graphically. So like Switch probably can't handle that quite as good. But when it's more stylized, it looks fine to me. So It Takes Two. I'm excited for this one, actually. I think this game looks really fun, and it will be a perfect fit for Switch.
Heard lots of good things.
It was up for Game of the Year.
Yep.
It's a great game.
And then next, they announced a Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse.
First time releasing in the US, so I believe this was exclusive to Japan previously.
So if you like scary Pokemon Snap, this is
Not for
game.
me. Not for me. Let's move on to the next one. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Expansion Pass Wave 2. A new character that is a robot? Gasp. And also a
Except
challenge.
For the head, potentially.
Yeah.
And
maybe also
it's still robot-y, but that's the only part that doesn't look like a robot.
No, that part looks like an anime girl, all right? Like, let's not get crazy here. This is Xenoblade. Can't have a robot main character. That's not true. It looked interesting. There's also like a challenge battle mode that was added, but this can't be it. Like, there has to be some like story stuff coming for the DLC as well. So we'll see what comes next for Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yes, and my number one most anticipated game, SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake. Looks
all I
fantastic.
remember about this is that Patrick is a little fairy that follows you around.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I remember too.
It didn't look bad though. It looked pretty good. It's no Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, which I don't know if that was good or bad, but it wasn't that. That's a fact. How about this one though, Micah? This one blew my mind. Fitness Boxing Fist of the North Star. A sequel to Fitness Boxing, which Fitness Boxing 1 and 2 are rhythm boxing games where you have like a fit looking trainer that is doing fitness boxing with you. No, this is post-apocalyptic. You're fighting gangs and battling in rhythm boxing. Like when it first appeared, I thought it was going to be some sort of like Street Fighter clone game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, it's fitness boxing. There you go.
The next, I scrolled down on the page on accident, so I had to scroll back up on the list. Next, they showed Oddballers, which I actually don't remember.
It's like a party dodgeball game. I remember
Oh,
he had a
that's right.
rocket.
That actually did look pretty fun.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
And, I mean, I haven't played it, but it made me think of like a Boomerang Foo kind of shenanigans.
Yeah, it was in that same vein. Then right after that, they showed a big announcement here: Tunic coming to Nintendo Switch. I think this was inevitable. Tunic was coming. This didn't shock me, but I'm excited to see it come because Tunic has been widely revered as a fantastic Zelda-like game. So excited to try that one out on Switch.
Then they showed off Front Mission 1, 2, and 3 remakes. And they have dates, I think, for the first two, but I don't remember what they are. And I think they just said the third one is coming in the future.
Yeah. I don't have anything to say about this one. Do you?
Got robots. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. But this next one marks the first the first farm sim that we see in the direct, and we see many more beyond this. This one's Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life, which I believe Story of Seasons is an offshoot of the original Harvest Moon team, and
it definitely gave me Harvest Moon vibes.
It looks like Harvest Moon. There you go.
And then they gave us some information about the latest Splatoon 3 Splatfest coming up.
Yeah, you get to pick between.
If you were on a deserted island, you could bring one of these three things with you:
gear, grub, or fun. Is this a debate that is heavily had somewhere? like rock paper scissors is like universal. Everybody knows what rock paper scissors is. But I've never like been in a group where it's like, if you could go to a desert island and all you could bring was one of these three things, like this is never the topics that we talk about. Yeah.
So I was like, what book would you bring? Or what one song?
Yeah. It's like, what one thing would you bring that you'd have forever? And listen, it's got to be fun, right?
If you want to die.
I mean, but you need to have fun to stay alive. Keeps the brain.
I'm relatively confident that has not been proven scientifically.
I'm relatively confident it has. But neither of us is going to look it up, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, team fun.
Yeah, I think I got to go with Team Gear, though.
Yeah.
Because you get your gear, and then you can leave the island, potentially, or get your grub. Plus, if you're really good at electronics, mechanically, and wiring and things, you can take your gear and make yourself a Switch. Play some games. Have some fun.
You can make gear. I think that's cheating. You can't make fun with gear. Because you could also make fun with food. And you could also...
Yeah, that's why fun
make
is
gear out of food.
The weakest choice.
No, I think what you're really admitting to here is that even if you were Team Gear, you would use it to find fun.
And food. And leave the island.
Yeah.
Or maybe just not die.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I feel like you're just admitting that Team Fun is where it's at. No, it's okay. It's all good.
I'm admitting that Team Gear is the best because you can do whatever you want with it, essentially. Possibilities are endless.
Again, it's going to be a highly debated thing. We'll see where people fall in this debate, and how badly Big Man will be gypped this time by some ridiculous voting system because Nintendo has these rigged. Yeah, that's right. Baseless accusation. I could do that. This is my show. No, I'm excited for another Splatfest. But you know what else you could get excited for? Octopath Traveler 2. I didn't know what this was as it was being shown off because it could have been anything. Square Enix has been doing a lot with this engine. So the fact that Octopath is getting a direct sequel is pretty cool. I wonder if Triangle Strategy will also get a direct sequel. It looks fun. A demo will be available for this game, I believe. Don't quote me on that, actually. I'm looking that up off to the side now.
I want to say I have heard that. Pretty sure someone posted in our Discord something about that.
Yeah, I might just be making that up. But yeah, Octopath Traveler 2. Also, is this the first game that's Square Enix? I feel like they had other things before this.
Yeah,
There was a lot
remember.
of Square. There was a lot of Square Enix developed games in here. This was a big one,
and also published. Some of them not even
yes,
developed by them.
Not developed, but published.
Yep.
Next up,
and they showed off the second farm life game with Fae Farm.
This one looked better to me than Story of Seasons.
It was a little more than just a farm sim kind of a thing, I guess.
Ninfrendo in chat says we should get Final Fantasy 1 through 6 in the Octopath engine. Agreed. I think that would be awesome. I would really like to see Chrono Trigger like that. I think it would look really good, remastered, remade in that. What say ye, Micah?
Probably be pretty cool.
You're the true Chrono Trigger guy among us two.
No, that game just already looked so good.
Yeah, but if they're gonna,
you don't want to go mess around too much with people's nostalgia,
right? But if they're gonna remaster it, because
that is
Square,
a good engine for it though, because it does retain a lot of that.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, they could go that route, or they could go Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that divides people, especially when it comes to something like Chrono Trigger. But I don't know. I feel like that's a good happy medium. Yeah, Fae Farm looks like the better of the two farm sims shown so far. Actually, out of all the farm sims they showed, Fae Farm was the most.
They got multiplayer going on.
Yeah, it looked the best to me. Next up, we got Theater Rhythm. That's all one word. And yep, it's Square Enix again. And it's Theater Rhythm 2, Final Bar Line. There was an original game on the 3DS. Boy, where's Seth when we need him? Seth was hyped for this announcement, and I'll tell you, Micah and I were not. We were like, why are they doing this? Why is this? But people that liked that game speak nothing but good about it. I've seen a lot of hype for it, and so I've changed my opinion on it, and that cool. I'm glad it's coming. I don't know if it's something I'll get. It's a rhythm game. It looks kind of Guitar Hero-esque, but I mean, it's got Final Fantasy music and characters and CG cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah,
so
this one with, like, depending on the version you get, you can have like 500 songs or something.
Yeah, it was like it was a lot.
A lot of music.
Yeah, a lot of music. So it seems like there's going to be a good amount of content to it, and it looks like it's a quality game. Napsy says it's like the third game of the series. Oh, there might be more than the one that I'm thinking of. So, yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah. Then they showed us a little more of Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. And I don't actually remember what new things they showed.
I don't know if they showed anything really new there. But the Ubisoft forward they did. Do you just want to jump and talk about that?
Yeah. That's the only important thing that happened in that anyways.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I watched the whole Ubisoft forward, which was long because it wasn't just a Ubisoft forward, it was also an Assassin's Creed forward inside the Ubisoft forward. For the Assassin's Creed like anniversary, they did like a special presentation for that. And if you're into Assassin's Creed, boy, go check that out. You're going to be pretty hyped because there's like 20 Assassin's Creed games coming. Project Red, Project Green, Project Diamond and Pearl, and Emerald and Ruby and Sapphire. All those projects coming for the Assassin's Creed. I'm really making fun of it here. There were some pretty cool looking announcements for the Assassin's Creed stuff. But there was not a lot of Nintendo in this Ubisoft Forward, except for a huge chunk dedicated to Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. They showed essentially like the first world of gameplay, including not first world, but like a world, including a boss fight against Mega Wiggler, and you fight him. He's not really the boss. You're on the back of a train, and he is running alongside it. He is as big as the train, and you're like shooting the corruption things on him to try and get him to calm down while fighting enemies that are trying to get you. And enemies are spawning in, and it looked like a pretty tight game. Like Bowser died or got KO'd in the match.
Just took a little nap.
And then they barely made it. And this game looks a lot better than the first game. I'll tell you that.
How dare you?
No, like, I thought the first game looked pretty good. This game looks incredible. The world design, the levels, the character design, everything is like a whole nother level of polish. It looks like a Nintendo developed game. It's Ubisoft. This is insane. This is crazy. I want to say the main guy's name is David. Just really loves this game. Like, you can just tell how passionate he and his team are about it, and that's really cool to see. In fact, they're so passionate about it that they couldn't help but tease some DLC. Did you see that, Micah?
Oh, I did. I'd forgotten about it until a minute ago, but yes, I had seen it.
That's right. 3 DLC announced, with the final DLC including none other than Donkey Kong. Just kidding.
Revolutionary.
Rayman as a playable character. He's going to be a playable character. Rayman finally guest appearing in a Rabbids game. For those that don't know the history, Rabbids started in Rayman.
And now that they've finally gone full circle.
It's finally gone full circle. Rabbids got more popular than Rayman somehow.
Now they're bringing Rayman back.
Ubisoft killed him for some reason, and he's coming back. He's going to be in this game. It's going to be insane. Rayman and Mario in the same game. Crazy. It's the Smash Bros. We've always dreamed of. What's next? Master Chief going to show up in this game?
That would be a twist.
Mario and Rabbids 3, Halo, Combat Evolved.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be amazing. This is going to be like the new crossover game. It's going to be everything in like this tactical shooter game. Yeah. So there you go. That's the news on Mario and Rabbids. I am honestly very hyped for this. It's gonna take a lot of restraint to wait the 6 months for it to get discounted to $15 before I buy it. So maybe I'll be ended up buying it sooner. Who knows? It's coming soon, right? It's the end of this year.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly when, but by the end of this year.
Yeah.
Unless it gets delayed.
Yeah, I believe it's October. I'll look that up real quick.
I want to say they said it'd be summer or something.
It's coming out
October 20th.
October 20th. You go right around my birthday. would be an early birthday present to myself, or a late birthday present to myself. See,
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
if I wait 8 months, I can make it a birthday present to myself.
You could. Or if you
Hopefully
wait just
for
a couple
relatively
months,
cheap.
Christmas. Anywho, next bit of news here. Jumping back to the Nintendo Direct. That was Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Is it my turn to read it now?
Heck yeah, it's your turn.
It's yours. It's yours. I just did the whole Ubisoft.
Absolutely not. I read Mario and Rabbids.
All right,
Sparks of
Rune
Hope,
Factory
and then you
3.
decided to jump.
It's okay. It's okay. Rune
Just saying.
Factory 3 special.
It's the principle of the matter.
This is an RPG with farming elements. Also, they announced that a new Rune Factory
Or is it a farming game with RPG elements?
I think it's the other way around for this one. This Rune Factory, a new Rune Factory project is in the works. So, huzzah. Utah in chat says Rune Factory games are fun. Yeah, I've heard they're really good. This one looked a little janky. It's an older game being kind of ported. It doesn't look like it's being really remastered. I couldn't tell, but it looked pretty stuttery.
Don't seem to really have upgraded too much.
Yeah.
Although they apparently added, I think, a couple new game modes / features or something.
Rune Factory 3 was DS, says Napsy. That makes sense. DS game. There's no way that was a 3DS game. There's no way. Now I've got to look that up on the side too. I didn't research any of this stuff. I just have the list of things that came in and what I thought about them. Next news. This is a big one.
They added some new games to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack.
Well, they're going to. They haven't had
going to.
Let's not be crazy. These are going to come one at a time over a slow, long period of time.
Yeah, so in about 3 years, we'll probably get GoldenEye 007. I don't know if they gave a time frame on when that would come out, but I have a feeling it's going to be the last one.
Yeah, for sure. But these are some pretty hype games. It's
actually happening.
These are some pretty hype games, and it's coming with online, exclusive to the Switch version. Because this is not only coming to Switch, this is also going to be available on other consoles. GoldenEye remaster.
Yeah, and I think actually though that on Game Pass or whatever, they're going to be updating the graphics some or something.
3 years, says Napsy in chat. No. It's next year. It's coming next year, but
did they specifically say that?
Yeah, no time frame. They did not specifically say that. Oh no. But it did say for all the other games, there are 3 coming out in 2022, and then the rest of the ones they announced will be coming in 2023. So there you go. And yeah, that list includes Mario Party 1, 2, and 3, Pilot Wings, Pokemon Stadium 1, Pokemon Stadium 2, and am I missing any?
GoldenEye?
Besides GoldenEye.
That's all the ones I can think of, but
think I am. Now I just want to check and make sure. Oh yeah, 1080 snowboarding and Excitebike 64. So in 2022, we'll be getting Pilot Wings, Mario Party 3. Well, I'm sorry, Mario Party 2. See, this confuses me because the box art for Mario Party, Mario is hitting the dice right next to the logo, and the dice shows a 3. So if you look at the box art, you'll think I always thought that was the third one because of that. It's not. It's the first one. And we're definitely going to be playing these online. You bet your you bet your bottom dollar. I don't know how the saying goes there, but you bet we'll be playing these. I'm pretty excited to do that and to have the online functionality. Hopefully it works pretty good. We've played N64 online and it's been pretty good. I don't think we've experienced anything game-breakingly bad.
No, yeah, it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Except that one time we played Super Mario Bros. There's just like a consistent slight input delay,
Slight input delay. Yeah, you're
which
right.
made it very difficult because we were trying to speed run it.
Yeah. Mario Party probably won't be too affected by that, but I guess some of those mini games are pretty precise. Will they sell us the gloves that protect our hands as we as we rub on the controller? Uh who knows?
Better get ready for a whole new wave of lawsuits.
Yeah, oh boy, more lawsuits. There's probably going to be a huge like warning thing on that one. Yeah, as Napsy points out in chat, it's like kind of all depends on your internet. Alrighty. GoldenEye though. That was pretty mind-blowing. I was not expecting that.
Yeah,
In this
I never
presentation.
thought it'd actually come.
Yeah. They were like, "Oh, wait, there's one more game coming." And I thought it was Smash Bros. For sure. I was like, "It's Smash Bros."
I'm excited for people to play it and then be like, "Wow, this is terrible."
Not as good as
And
you
then just
remember.
never play it again.
100%. GoldenEye is not as good as you remember, guys. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. It's not. I have played it since the good old days, and it's hard to go back to. I mean, there's just a lot of modern equivalents that are much, much better. But, I think nostalgia can blind people pretty good. Case in point, Mike had just
Oot.
finished
Ocarina of Time. Can really
Mario
blind people
Sunshine,
to the
Mario
nostalgia.
Sunshine, and he really liked that game. So nostalgia can really blind you. Moving on to the next
Y'all
farm
just gotta
sim.
get good.
There he is.
I do find it interesting that a lot of people don't like Mario Sunshine, which happens to be what I would say is the most difficult Mario game. So I think the reason for that might just be it's just too hard for some people.
I mean, I beat it. I didn't think it was too hard. What are you telling me? That it was too hard for me? I don't think it was.
Exactly.
I beat it.
You're used to breezing through Mario games, so there's some adversity here, and you're like, "This is
That's
terrible.
just not true.
This
I
is a
played
pain."
through all of Mario Galaxy, all of it.
It's not that hard.
It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough to get every star and every green star, and then do it all again as Luigi.
So you can get that picture.
So you could get that picture.
Worth it.
It was worth it. I don't care what anybody says.
No regrets.
None. Mario Galaxy's a gem, an absolute gem. I do like that while we disagree on Mario Sunshine, we agree on literally every other Mario game. We're like, yeah, that was a good game. Yeah, I like that game. Except I guess you're not a huge fan of Mario 64. But I think you mostly don't like that it's put above Sunshine, and I can see the dislike in that regard.
It's practically the same, but not as good.
Yeah, but let's get back to the point here. GoldenEye's not going to be as good as y'all are remembering it, and I can't wait for all of the YouTube videos where it's like GoldenEye 007, not as good as you remember. It's like a bunch of people looking sad and distraught. Like, yep. But let's move on to the next game. Various Day Life. Another farm life sim. What a name.
Yep.
Various Day Life.
Is a little on the nose.
We'll just move on.
Yeah.
Factorio.
Factorio, yep.
What did you think of this one?
I have no recollection of it, if I'm being honest.
It looked like StarCraft.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think I'd heard really good things about this from other people previously.
It actually looks super fun to me. I was
about to say, not really my kind of game here, I don't think. But it's kind of one of those like almost city management type of things.
Except you
manage all your resources and get them to where they're supposed to be or something.
Yeah, except you're like a guy that walks around, and you also like defend your city while trying to escape this planet. So yeah, there you go. And then next was Ib. Not much to talk about here. It's like a
A cool art thing that's also
creepy
kind of
painting
creepy.
game. Yeah. Just didn't look that interesting to me. It's probably pretty
I thought
cool.
it seemed pretty interesting. It seemed unique. That makes it stick out a little bit.
Yeah. See that. Yeah.
Then they mentioned the Mario Strikers Battle League free update, which adds Pauline and some other person, I think, which I do not remember.
Diddy Kong.
Diddy Kong, that's right. That's a great ad. I'm actually really glad they added Diddy Kong.
Yeah.
And then a couple new like gear options or something like that.
Yeah, barrel armor. you can wear a barrel.
Yeah,
So,
nothing too mind blowing, I don't think, in that update. Oh yeah, and like a new stadium.
lots of love for Pauline this generation. I dig it.
It's a Mario Odyssey song.
Yeah.
Brought everything back.
She's back. She was no one-hit wonder. She's back for good now, a mainstay. She'll be in all the party games, but only as DLC apparently, because that's how it's been so far. Actually, no, she was main in the Mario Golf. Not called Battle League. What is it called? Mario Golf
Star
Super
Rush
Rush
or something?
Super Rush.
Super Rush, I think, yeah.
Atelier
Yup.
Ryza 3, Alchemist of the End, and the Secret Key. Don't be deceived here. This is not the third Atelier Ryza game. No.
I feel like that name is so dramatic.
Atelier Ryza?
What, just Alchemist of the End and the Secret Key?
How many Atelier Ryza games are there?
Well, I'm going to assume at least 3.
No, I just want to find a list. Because there are way more than 3. Atelier, okay. There's Atelier Sophie, Atelier Ryza, Atelier Ryza 2, Atelier Online, Atelier Arland, Atelier Liddy,
Yeah,
Atelier
see, those aren't
Ferris.
Atelier Ryza, though.
Yeah, whoa, what? How could I mistake these?
Yeah,
Atelier,
you
okay.
fool.
The
A
Atelier
truly
series.
embarrassing mistake to have made.
Listen. These have popped up enough for me that I really need to understand what these are because
I have no idea what any of these games are.
like it's a JRPG that I know. That's all I know about it. Okay, so the series has been primarily released in Japan, though recent titles have been localized for other markets. The franchise centers around the concept of Atelier specializing in alchemy. The gameplay involves finding, collecting, and combining items and recipes to create better items, which allows the player to advance further in the game.
Sounds
Oh
cool.
my gosh. How many? There have been 24 main games in the Atelier franchise, which are subdivided into 7 sub-series.
That's kind of wild.
What? There are 3 games in the Salberg series, 2 games in the Gramnad series, 3 games in the Ira series, 2 games
to be a fan of.
in the Monokimiya series, and 4 games in the Arland series, 3 games in the Dusk series, and 4 games in the Mysterious series, and 3 games in the Secret series. Where is Atelier Ryza, though? Atelier Ryza is... Who knows? Who knows which one that's in? There you go, folks. Maybe if you're not into this, you should get into it because there's a lot
It'll
to
last
play.
you the rest of your life.
Yeah, yeah. They look well made.
It's like a compliment you give when you like don't know
I
what positive
have no idea
thing to say.
They look nice.
It looks like they tried.
That's not what I'm trying to say. They look good. They look good. I'm just proud of myself because I recognized that it was an Atelier game. I was like,
I was impressed.
yeah. Cosmic's like, is this Genshin Impact? And you were like, yeah, I think so. I'm like, no, guys, I know this is Atelier. And then it comes on. I'm like, I'm not crazy. I recognized the character because they've had Atelier. Ryza 2 was in a previous direct, like forever ago. And I just remember it had this girl that had the one boot that's just really long that is essentially pants. And then the other leg does not have that boot, but it has pants. And it was an interesting character design. And I was like, oh, this looks very Zelda-like. So, yeah.
It was the giant boot made you think of that?
Yeah. I was like, oh, big boot, just like Zelda. Let's just move on before I dig myself deeper into this pit that is Atelier, the Atelier pit.
And then they showed off some of Wave 3 for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really long name.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
I'm like just realizing. I don't remember the things they showed off, though, once again.
Merry Mountain from Mario Kart Tour. So, canonically, the Mario characters celebrate Christmas.
Is this the one with the ice cream level, or was that last time?
That was last time. That's out already. Are you even a real podcast host?
There's too many courses and tracks. I'm not going to remember.
Oh, man.
I remember the ice cream one looked pretty cool.
It's Merry Mountain and Peach Gardens from Nintendo DS. It's Merry Mountain's from Tour, which I think dashes my hopes of DK Mountain. But this looks
have too many mountains.
You can never have too many snowy mountains. I mean, they definitely already have a snowy mountain. Don't we have Mount Wario?
Is there Mount Wario?
Drop out
Wario's gold mine.
Yeah, there's Mount Wario. You drop out of a plane and go down the whole ski resort. Nothing about it is Wario.
I would say that level's like the level when you describe it sounds kind of familiar, but I don't remember the name being Mount Wario.
Yeah, it's Mount Wario. It's weird. So yeah, that's Wave 3. When's it coming? We'll never tell. Because Nintendo didn't tell us. So there you go.
Then my second favorite bit of news.
Nintendo Switch. What? Why is that? No, what is wrong with you? Nintendo Switch Sports. Golf. Hey, guess what? It's delayed.
Yeah, it was my second favorite because of yours and Cosmic's reaction to it.
Well, why? Why is that? Why?
Like,
okay, yeah,
it's golf. Like, how would this get delayed? Of all the games, it's like the simple golfing game gets delayed.
So Nintendo Switch Sports was supposed to have golf mode this year. When's it coming now?
I think it's still like this holiday
2022 instead of fall.
So it's only like a couple months or something delayed.
Yeah, but it's just like, why did this get delayed? And also, they didn't announce anything else new with it. But they did say that you'll be able to play golf simultaneously, which has never been a thing in Wii Sports series before.
It's like the Super Rush, but without all the terrible abilities that make you want to die.
Listen, you can play Mario Golf without that mode, without the special abilities. Just play regular
but no
golf.
one ever wants to, so you never get to.
I'll play it with you like that.
It's too late. I don't have the game.
Yeah, it is too late. You've already committed to get Nintendo Switch Sports.
I also
instead.
don't have Nintendo Switch Sports.
You monster. And then the courses to me look like they are brand new, so I'm excited about that. It's gonna be really good. Wii Sports Golf has always been really good, but I'm a little bummed. I was hoping with that they'd be like, and also the reason it's getting delayed is because we're adding in new modes. You're also gonna get Frisbee Golf and Frisbee Dogs coming back. And let's throw archery in here, like something else. Like this game has so much potential to be more, but not quite there yet. And I hope it does get there because I think it's a fantastic game. I do love it, and I think it's really good. I want more sports.
Well, speaking of more sports, they finally announced Pikmin 4 will be coming.
No. Wait. That's not how it went down. That's not how it went down. You even cut this part out of the reaction, which I found
100% cut that out. It was so long.
Well, I was hoping you would at least leave the part where we were like dumbfounded at what happened. Miyamoto comes onto screen and he's like, "Hey guys, I've been playing this game. Have you guys heard of Pikmin Bloom?"
Yeah, well, they mentioned they're like, we're talking about Pikmin stuff, and we're all excited. Then he talks about Pikmin Bloom for like 3 minutes.
Micah, yeah, literally, Pikmin Bloom, he talked about for a full 3, like, wait. He starts at 27 and ends at 29. It's like 2.5 minutes dedicated to Pikmin Bloom. Now, this is fine, but this game's already out, and it's been already out for like a year. It's like so bizarre. Like, what on earth is happening? He's like, yeah, you can collect. And he like literally walks through. This is how you play this game.
Explains it again.
So this is what he does. He comes out and he's like, I want to talk to you guys about Pikmin. I've been playing this game called Pikmin Bloom. Have you tried it? It's pretty fun. And I was shocked. I was absolutely dumbfounded. Like, is this really happening right now? I feel like Miyamoto just loves to cause chaos, He comes to these directs and he's like, Chris Pratt is playing Mario. Blows up the internet,
walks away,
and then just walks away and like laughs to himself. He's like, I am Miyamoto. And he sounds like Wario, But then after he does that, he does announce Pikmin 4. After like 3 minutes of talking about Pikmin Bloom. What'd you think of that? Of the announcement?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's fairly similar to the Metroid Prime 4 announcement, where they just give you like Pikmin, and then a 4 appears.
Well, I mean, it did show a couple screenshots. It's a little bit more than.
And the screenshot of you can actually see the game from down low, from the Pikmin's point of view.
I wonder how that's gonna work.
I want to see their point of view when you're throwing them, and they do like 6 front flips and then land on something.
Have we talked about this before? I feel like you have said this exact thing before this was announced. Like, I want to.
It really did sound kind of familiar. Not gonna lie. That's why I was saying it.
I was like, I feel like Mike has
some
talked
deja
about.
Vu.
Mike has talked about this before. He's like, I want to see this from Pikmin's perspective. We'll have to go back and listen to every episode so that we can find where it was.
I'm not even like 100% sure it was about like Pikmin, but I've definitely talked something about flipping through the air and having your camera be crazy.
Yes, Pikmin 4. And also Miyamoto made a new shirt.
It's pretty cool.
It is a cool shirt. Can you buy that shirt? Was that like a subtle like...
I don't know if they mentioned anything about that,
Check out my store, Miyamoto.com, to buy special Pikmin merch. I kind of
just assumed you would be able to, but I don't know, actually.
Yeah, so there you go. Miyamoto comes on to be like, hey, I'm playing this app. Check out my new t-shirt, also Pikmin 4. And then he's gone. He also did talk about the theme parks and talk about how the one in California is opening up later this year, ? And how the movie is still underway. He just gets to talk about whatever the heck he wants. He's like, yep.
You know you've made it when you can essentially do whatever you want and talk about some random mobile Pikmin game that's been out for a year.
All right, next game announced. Just Dance 2023 edition. Woo!
Yep. You can keep dancing, I guess.
Every year for the rest of forever.
Yep. And then they showed Harvestella. Another
Not
farming game,
not
right?
only another farming game, but
But
one
with the
by
Season of Death.
but one by Square Enix. This is the culmination of what this direct is all about. A Square Enix farm sim. Oh man, I'm having a I tease at the Square Enix, but and the farm sim, but I mean, if you're into this stuff, it's hype. It's way hype. This game actually looks really good too. By the way, Season of Death.
I mean, a Season of Death, it sounds awesome. That is definitely how you bring a farming game to the next level. One of the seasons is literally just death.
True. Speaking of Season of Death, Bayonetta 3. And I don't know how that really transitions, but she deals death to creature
Homunculi,
things.
the human created homunculi things or something.
You remember Bayonetta 1. She was fighting to save herself. You remember Bayonetta 2, where she was fighting to save her best friend. But now, in Bayonetta 3,
With
she's
the help
fighting...
of a reporter.
With the help? No, of a journalist.
Oh, journalist, that's right.
The driven journalist Luca. She will be fighting to save the world. Gosh. What on earth? That one was just so they could get high scores from IGN. That's why they put that guy in.
The journalist.
Bribery. Yeah, they're like, oh, look at these driven journalists.
All the journalists can pretend that they are Luca the journalist. We'll bias them a little bit.
There you go.
It's smart.
It is smart. It is smart.
And speaking of smart, they then announced Master Detective Archives Raincode. Because you know how them Master Detectives got to be smart.
Yeah.
See, actually, a semi-good transition. Might be my first.
Yeah, well, and this is the classic. Protagonist is an amnesiac detective. Why does this happen in every game like this? Oh, who am I?
Well, because it makes backstories really easy.
Yeah, I have no memories, but I know I'm a detective. I mean, that is literally how Detective Pikachu starts. Also, Famicom Detective Club. That's how that one starts too. It's just like, yeah, there you go.
Way to add a little extra mystery.
But this took an interesting plot twist of you have a deal with some like demon angel
ghost thing
anime lady, and you go and fight through like personifications of the problem to solve the mystery. Yeah, and you have like choices. Who was the last person to die during this incident? And you get to pick like really fast. Yuma, the culprit, or Shinigami? Shinigami? What? Isn't that the ghost?
That's the ghost lady. Also, isn't Yuna or like Yuma? I mean, isn't that the main character?
And then there
So I
are
don't think it's
guys.
those two options.
There are like guys that will appear and say things like, "Your deduction is wrong. You will not collect the evidence," and then you fight them. Not gonna lie, I'm intrigued. I'm majorly intrigued by this game. I was like, what is going on here? At first, I was like, all right, okay, this seems pretty generic. And then it just took a very weird twist of like, oh, by the way, Persona. It's essentially like weird otherworldliness happenings. So there you have it. But speaking of weird otherworldliness happenings, Resident Evil is coming via the cloud. Like the whole series is coming via the cloud.
Is it the whole series?
Yeah, Resident Evil Village was announced, so Resident Evil 7, but then they said, oh, also the other games will be coming as cloud games as well. I don't feel I don't feel like cloud gaming's there yet. But I don't know. I need to give it a try on my Switch before I can really knock on it too hard. But I just am not a fan of the practice. Just speaking generally,
someday soon in the future, this will be how everything works.
Except it won't be, because the internet infrastructure just isn't there. So you automatically alienate like more than half of your audience.
That's what I meant. I was talking about the future.
The future when everybody does have that internet. I just don't know how soon or possible that is. You know, like that's a ways out.
Yeah, but imagine 100 years when we just have Wi-Fi chips embedded in our brains. And then there'll be one central computer for the entire world that handles everything.
Whoa. I don't think that's how this is going to go. Yeah, no, let's hope not.
100 years from right now, it's exactly what the future will look like.
Next game. 100 years. Speaking of 100 years. Sifu. I did not remember this one, but I'm watching back on it now, and it's
martial arts.
It's a martial arts game where when you die, you age 1 year.
Oh, that's right.
It actually looks pretty interesting, pretty cool. Cut to Final Fantasy VII, though. Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII the name is Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion. It's Square Enix, guys. I mean,
three names in one.
Play as Zack and find out how Cloud became Cloud and Sephiroth became Sephiroth. Sorry.
Yeah, you're supposed to clear your throat before you try something like that.
Voice cracked a little bit when I said that. And then we're on to the sizzle reel.
Yep. Well, they showed off Radiant Silvergun, which fantastic name, first of all.
I mean, it's a name. What? I don't have a list of what they had in the sizzle reel. Did I put that on here, or are you reading somewhere else?
Oh, I just read the next thing on the list after you said the sizzle reel started. But I think you might have jumped ahead to the sizzle reel.
Oh, I did jump ahead to the sizzle reel. Sorry.
Yeah. The problem is I didn't actually remember Radiant Silvergun at all, so I just assumed it was in the sizzle reel.
No, it wasn't in the sizzle reel. I'm jumping ahead, everybody. Backtrack. Also, Endless Dungeon was shown.
Yeah, which I confused with Dungeon of the Endless.
Which looks to be by the same people,
yeah, I think it's by the same people. It seems very similar, but a little more 3D, slightly less top-down-ish.
Yeah, who knows?
But if it's anything like Dungeon of the Endless, it should be a pretty good game.
Tales of Symphonia Remastered. A lot of love for that on Discord. I think I saw Spider-Shan talking about how he really liked that game. So I have seen artwork for this game and listened to music from this game in playlists. But then actually seeing the gameplay and how it looked, I was shocked. I was like, well, this is not what I was expecting. It is way older than I thought. But it's also at like the time period of 3D games. So they're like the character models are like chibi 3D, but it's mixed with some like really cool anime art style cut scenes. So there you go.
Now they started the sizzle reel, which I think at the end showed off Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe.
Yeah. In
It
the
was kind
sizzle
of weird to
reel,
have like in the sizzle reel ish.
in the sizzle reel was several Square Enix games as well. Life is Strange, just a reminder that that's Life is Strange Arcade Bay collection's coming. What else we got? Lego, Brick Tales, Romancing Saga, Disney Speedstorm, Fall Guys Season 2, and then it jumped into Kirby. Just no transition. It was like sizzle reel done, Kirby, which is interesting. You got thoughts on this one, Micah?
Looks like a pretty cool Kirby game. And it seemed like it was only local co-op. I don't remember if they mentioned online, but I seem to remember them mentioning like couch co-op.
Yeah, I'm looking up. They definitely did not say online, because I remember us both being disappointed by that. Okay, so this remake's art style is interesting. They gave all of the characters a black border and kind of made the art style slightly I don't know if that makes any sense. Like they gave the characters a border, which makes it more painterly. I don't know if that's really the right way to describe it, but just everything has a border, and it did not have that in the original, which is weird.
I think
weird choice.
I hope you tell where you are in the chaos of playing with a lot of people.
Maybe that's what it's for. I'm looking right now at gameplay of the original. Yeah, it didn't have that. Also, King DDD looks completely different. He looks like new King DDD.
Kind of makes sense, I guess. Updated the graphics a little bit. Be a little less jarring compared to more recent Kirby games.
Yeah, it's just some an interesting choice with the art direction, but it looks good. Looks good. Neat Duck says, "I don't like the new King DDD look." I agree. Have you seen new DDD compared to old DDD, Micah?
Technically, I have. Do I remember? Nope.
He just has a smaller head, and
Seems
he
reasonable.
has a much more like puffed up collar to his robe. His king cape.
His head used to be way too big, yo.
I don't know.
His head was just as big as the rest of his body in 1996.
Yeah. I feel like the new one, he looks way angrier too. Just by default, he just looks angry, which is interesting because they've made him less of a villain over time, but he just looks angrier. He's like, I'm a good guy now, but I'm not happy about it. So there you go. Kirby's Return to Dreamland. This is awesome. It's part of Kirby's anniversary. Little late because it's coming next year, guys. That's not how it works. The anniversary is this year. But okay. Channeling my Mickey Mouse
Ooh.
there.
Is that what that was?
To complain about it. No, I was just high pitched going, why are you doing this? That's that.
Speaking of why are you doing this?
Yeah, speaking of.
Technically, this is yours, I believe.
Oh, is it? I was just about to eat this cookie. The Legend
I
of
didn't
Zelda.
want to steal it from you.
The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears, you say?
No, that's not how it's pronounced. Nintendo came out and said that it is officially Tears of the Kingdom. The fact that they had to clarify that's pretty funny.
That thought literally never crossed my mind. That would be Tears.
Tears of the Kingdom. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We scoured this trailer. Holy cow, this was hype.
Only 8 months to go.
What's the release date on this one?
May
12th, I believe.
I remember being like, oh man, this game, it's so close to coming out. And then I thought about it. I was like, this rounds up to a year away.
Yep. A whole bunch of stuff shown in this. There's new item thing that Link is carrying on the side. It's not the Sheikah slate. It's like vials
of something. Tears, perhaps?
There's a green goblin glider. I mean, that's what it looks like.
The green goblin.
Unfortunately, without the green goblin.
It made me kind of think of a paper airplane.
Yeah, it's like this big, flat, metallic bird. It looks otherworldly, alien almost. Giant glyphs on the ground. It showed more of the time reversal thing going on with a rock that carries Link up to the sky. And then a whole bunch of cave paintings of things, or not cave paintings, like hieroglyphics, like etched hieroglyphics. Super interesting. There's a bird owl creature that did not look like anything that we've previously seen in Breath of the Wild, shown as the first thing, and it had 7 tears floating around it. And then it shows what we assume is Zelda floating in kind of, hey, we're possessing you kind of fashion. On her back, floating above the ground. And then it showed her, and in the closer, it shows her and the bird creature thing forming a circle with their hands, and a tear floating above that. What does any of this mean? I don't know.
Nobody knows.
The lore in this game is gonna be crazy. That's what it means.
Yeah, but they had those 7 apostrophe symbols around that weird creature, and I looked it up a little bit because I was like, that seems so familiar, and it made me think of actually the Tears of the Goddess you collect in Skyward Sword, I think it was.
Yeah, and you also collect tears in Twilight Princess
to the wolf, right?
To restore Twilight Zones. You have now entered the Twilight Zone. Yeah, they're very similar mechanic between those two games. But also, the Guardians in the Skyward Sword look like that creature. Don't they?
Maybe. It's been a while since I played Skyward Sword. To be honest, the creature looked kind of like a bokoblin.
Oh my
to
gosh.
me, I was really happy.
I just saw. That looks very similar to what was in the cave painting. I wish I could like
It
pull
does
this up
kind of
quickly.
have the long ears,
It has the long ears.
but only one set of earrings. Well, the other had three, I think.
Maybe there's a connection here. They did re-release Skyward Sword on the Switch. Yeah,
I'm
we
excited for
went.
this game to come out so we can be proven extremely wrong.
We looked back and watched like a whole bunch of things. We're like, what is this? Is there something new here? Is there something new here? So had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, I'm waiting to find out it's actually just a really tall bokoblin that was really happy and got some nice clothes.
Yeah, there you go. And that's the Direct. That was the Nintendo Direct. Micah, what were your thoughts overall on the Nintendo Direct?
I thought it was pretty good. They showed off a lot of games. There weren't too many games that I was really excited about, though. Or not really new things about the games that I was excited about.
My immediate reaction after this Direct was that it was okay. It was pretty good. But nothing like similar. I was like, nothing stellar here to me. Except for, obviously, Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, but I mean, that didn't
Or
really
should
show
I
too
say,
much.
Tears of the Kingdom. Show the
Well,
title.
Totka.
But the more
Yeah.
I thought about it, the more I looked over this list as I'm putting this together, the more hyped I am about how awesome this Direct was. This was a good Direct. This was really good. There was a lot in it. There are a ton of games in here. And even though not everything out here screams to me specifically, there's so much variety that there was something for everybody in this Direct. No Zelda remake, no Metroid Prime remake. So if you were coming in expecting that because of rumors, I apologize. Sorry. Well, I don't apologize. It's not my fault. It's your fault. You false expectationer.
Wow.
No, I just thought it was good. I mean, there's a new Fire Emblem, a whole bunch of big games coming to Switch. Tunic, It Takes Two.
I think I'm most excited for Pikmin 4.
A bunch of DLC. Yeah, a whole bunch of first party games. Honestly, more than you'd think when you first watch through. Because again, we were like, this is a Square Enix Direct. So nice of them to feature Zelda in their Square Enix Direct. But yeah, Fire Emblem, Pikmin 4. I'm missing all the stuff coming to NSO. A whole bunch of DLC for games that are out already. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Nintendo Switch Sports. What am I missing? There was another DLC I was looking at here. Mario Strikers. Also getting Bayonetta 3. They showed more of that, which got a date as well. It was October. Kirby's a Kirby Dreamland remake. I mean, there's like every time I look at it, I go, oh yeah, there was that too, and that happens like every time I look at the list of announcements, because there's just so many things that my brain could not contain them all. So all it contained was Pikmin 4 and Zelda. Like I had to go back and like, oh yeah, there was a Fire Emblem at the very beginning. And so I just think that that's cool. I think that this was a great Direct. Honestly, I couldn't give this a low score even if I wanted to, because there wasn't as much screaming out to me. Because the more I look at it, the more I'm like, well, yeah, I'm going to be playing a lot of these games. I'm going to be playing everything that comes to NSO. Definitely interested in checking out Fire Emblem, because I haven't checked out that series before, and it's got Marth in it, so now I can finally know why they
have a
like
reason
him
to
so
play
much. Yeah.
another Fire Emblem game.
Finally. And yeah, Tunic, It Takes Two. Fae Farm looked great. There was a lot of farm sims, so if you're into that and you're, feeling a little burnt out on Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing, Animal Crossing is not really a farm sim, but one of those like cozy games, there's a lot of that coming. There's also a lot of rhythm games coming. Mario and Rabbids. I mean, there's just a lot, and so the more I look at this, the more I'm like, this is hype. Contrast that with the Disney Marvel Game Showcase. What a lead I'm giving this presentation. Disney had its own showcase, its very first game direct in the Nintendo Direct style. Let's just go through what they've got. This is just the stuff that's Nintendo focused. There could be, because there was a lot in this presentation too, but they had a lot of focus on mobile games. Unfortunate. Lots of focus on mobile games. There was one, the Villains game. I was very like, oh, and then they're like, yeah, it's gonna be a mobile game. Like, oh, sad, very sad, because it looked very cool. It was just a cinematic trailer. The gameplay is not going to be anything like that. That's the sad part. Like, if the gameplay is like that, hey, heck yeah, I'll play that on any platform. But it's not going to be like that. Anyways, let's dive into it.
They showed Disney Illusion Island.
This looks like
4 characters. Because Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and probably Donald.
Mm-hmm. Probably Donald. Because who cares about Daisy? Get out of here, Daisy. Nobody likes Daisy. Just like over in Nintendo. Who likes Daisy?
Who even is Daisy? Daisy
Duck?
Who?
The the other staple to the Mario, not the Mario, the Mickey gang.
Donald Duck is the only staple to the Donald gang.
I mean, in the gang, the staple is Mickey, Donald, Goofy. Minnie, but the fact that they put Minnie in but not Daisy is quite a slap to the Daisy fans, I'm just going to say.
Well, would you rather they put Daisy instead of Minnie in?
No, they should just have them both. Just make it 5 players. I don't know.
5 players? Are you insane?
Who does that? That's crazy. 5 playable characters? This looks like a spiritual successor to the Mickey games, the Mickey platformer games that were on SNES and Genesis as well. You could play Mickey's Adventure, The Forest of something. And I had Mickey's Haunted Circus. And they were really fun platformers. And this looks like it's going to be kind of like that. I got Rayman Origin vibes watching this. The Great Circus Mystery starring Mickey and Minnie. It was a co-op platformer. And then the game that came before that was Disney's Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse. But it was only solo. So it was like Great Circus Mystery was that game, but with 2 players. It's not the same game. Different story. But yeah. This was probably the most hype thing in this presentation. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, they showed off some like pretty cool things, but they showed very little gameplay, so you don't actually know if they're going to be cool or good.
Yeah. And Disney's Illusion Island is coming in the future. TBD, as Goofy said. TBD. TBD.
With finger guns.
TBD.
The best part.
Yeah. Goofy. One of the best characters ever. And the host was like, I call dibs on Goofy, y'all. And you know what? So do I. Ha ha ha. We can't all be Goofy. Goofy's my favorite Disney character, I think. I relate with his tallness.
And his maturity level?
Oh, yeah, he's very mature. He's got kids.
First of all, having kids doesn't make you mature. Just saying.
Oh, clearly. Look at me. Yeah.
Case in point. Looking at you.
Next, they showed Marvel's Midnight Suns. Not a lot more shown here. Just more cinematic stuff.
A whole bunch of action shots, essentially.
Yep. Don't have anything to say about that.
Then they showed Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga Galactic Edition.
Oh boy.
Which appears to be the same, but with a couple new characters or something.
Yeah. It's part of DLC that you can get with characters from the show. Multiple shows that they have coming out. Live action. Return to Monkey Island. It was one of those like, oh, Disney owns this? Oh yeah, they do, because that's Lucas Games. And Lucas Games is Star Wars. Disney owns that. So there you go. Monkey Island.
Speaking of Star Wars, they announced Gargoyles Remastered.
Yeah, speaking of Star Wars.
Because if you throw an enemy as a gargoyle, they make a really loud scream, kind of similar to how Luke screams when he finds out who his father is.
Oh, what a save on that transition.
What a save. I had that funny. Planned from the beginning.
It's pretty funny. Well, speaking of Star Wars, Disney Speedstorm is the next announcement. I have nothing to say about this game or that transition.
Something about parsecs.
Or that transition. I don't have to explain myself. Disney Speedstorm. It looks pretty good.
Yeah. Looks like a solid racer.
Captain Jack Sparrow racing against Mike Wazowski. Sure. Let's do it. Let's go.
Speaking of going, they then announced we're going to go right on to the next item. Disney Dreamlight Valley.
These transitions may still be... these are like on par with how the transitions in the actual showcase itself went. I kudos to the host. I think he did a great job, but some of those were rough. I definitely laughed out loud when he was like, I know you're not here to see me. You're here to see the games. So let's get to it. And then just went to the next game.
Yeah, it was so unnecessary, but it somehow just made it better.
Yeah. Yeah, it really did. Disney Dreamlight Valley, which is out now in early access, which you pay for the Founders Pack to get early access, but it will be free to play at some point in the future. It's a game. That's for sure. It looks like a game. And that's where they ended. For Nintendo related stuff. They're making like a Pokemon Go game for Marvel.
Yeah. Don't know how that's going to work out, but who knows? It might be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And we already talked about the Ubisoft Forward. Mario and Rabbids was really the only Nintendo thing announced to the Ubisoft Forward. Oh, hey, we got a raid from Leo Veritas. Thank you so much. Thank you for that raid. Appreciate that. Welcome on in, everybody. We're going through the news segment of episode 108 of Nintendo Pals Podcast. And a lot of presentations this week. So we just wrapped up talking about the Nintendo Direct and the Disney Marvel Game Showcase and the Ubisoft Forward. So let's move on to the other news items we got, Micah.
Yeah, I know some people are very excited about this. But Power Wash Simulator is coming soon to PlayStation 4 and 5 and Nintendo Switch consoles.
Oh, heck yeah, I'm excited about this. I know you are too.
Some people, some other people are very excited about this.
Power Wash Simulator, let's go. Finally, Micah can play it on the go. He's been dreaming of this.
It's technically a possibility of something I could do if my life depended on it.
We'll get a review code. I'll send it your way. I'll pay full price for this game. All right, I understand where value lies, and Power Wash Simulator is where that's at. This is actually everybody I know besides Micah that has played this game really likes this game. So check it out.
It's good for what it is, and if it's your kind of game, I think you will really enjoy it.
Infrendo says, "Does it have VR?" Or asks, "In VR?"
I don't think so. But would be that. It'd be a perfect game for VR.
Yeah. Coming soon, maybe. Power Wash Simulator VR. A little bit of news update here. Online features and more are in development for Mega Man Battle Network, the Legacy Collection. So this was announced a while ago, but they're just clarifying, hey, there's going to be online features. What does that entail? I don't actually know because I haven't played these games, so I don't know what online features they could add. Maybe there's online battling.
We may never know.
Yeah, online battles and chip trading for each of the games in the collection. So there you go. But that wasn't all that they announced. They also announced that there's going to be like a art gallery that you can go through. So that's pretty cool.
Art's cool, I guess.
Yeah. I don't have a lot to say about this one. This collection looks like it's going to be pretty neat.
Oh. Speaking of pretty neat, the Sega Genesis NSO has had some games added. Elysia, I don't know, Dragoon.
It's a Dragoon game. That's all that matters.
Beyond Oasis and a classic Earthworm Jim.
There you go. And that is all we've got to talk about in the news this week. Whew. A huge week this week. So if I had to rate the presentations that we watched this last week, I'd say the Nintendo Direct is sitting for me at a solid A minus. The Disney Showcase, it's a D for Disney. No, just kidding. I'd say it was pretty good for their first showcase, but pretty average. So I'm gonna give it just a nice base like C grade where it came in. It did what it was trying to do, but didn't wow me. And Ubisoft gets, I don't know what grade to give it. It didn't have any Nintendo stuff. The stuff it did show was pretty cool, but again, like, everybody is so guilty of this. Even Nintendo this time didn't have like a ton of gameplay to show on things for their first party stuff. Most of the things in the Direct had gameplay, but like Pikmin 4 was just the title. No, that was really the only one that didn't have gameplay. Fire Emblem showed gameplay. Kirby showed gameplay.
Legend of Zelda.
Legend of Zelda showed gameplay.
2 seconds of gameplay.
Wasn't a lot, but it showed it. But yeah, Ubisoft just like a lot of cinematic trailers, not a lot of gameplay to show off on their stuff. And it's just like, it feels too soon to be announcing the things that they're announcing if they don't have solid gameplay to show. I just feel like everybody else in the gaming sphere is just behind the curve a little bit on where they're marketing stuff. They're marketing things out too far in advance. So it's not showing enough of the game. But maybe that works, you know, a longer cycle from announcement to release. But I like the shorter. And I like how Nintendo kind of keeps those closed, with the exception of Metroid Prime 4. But we've talked about it before. They were forced. They had to announce it, or people would have rioted at the Samus Returns remake. Like, this isn't what we wanted. Because how many times are they going to get a Metroid game they don't want before they get the one that they do want? Yeah, that's it for news. So what do you say we jump into the next segment of our show, Micah? Let's
do it.
let's head on over to the rumor mill and visit with the Pikmin that we send out to go look for things, rumors in the rumor mill. Can you tell I'm tired? That transition.
They're looking for rumors in a mill.
They're looking for rumors in a mill. That's just where
really that hard to find things in a mill?
It's where they gather the
kind of
rumors.
Mill is this?
They bring them to the mill for processing. Let's not think about it too hard because it all falls apart when we start to do that. Rumors. Splatoon 3 has 3 possible new Salmon Run modes coming in the future. Pair, Underground, and Contest. Pair and Underground will have their own pay grades and titles. In addition, Underground will have higher quotas per wave. +3, +5, +7. So be higher than normal. What does this mean, Micah? I haven't played Salmon Run. What does that mean?
Well, for each wave, you have to collect a certain amount of golden eggs as well as surviving.
Oh, okay.
So, in the boss salmonids drop those special eggs you have to collect. So I assume that's talking about those. So you'll just have to get more of those. So it seems like it's kind of just like a more difficult mode.
Yeah, Underground's like hard mode, and Pair, I assume, is just
seems like it just be 2 people,
or something. 2-player,
2-player
co-op,
which would be pretty cool.
And Contest, just versus, like you're all there, but you're like trying to get the best score.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
It's
almost
weird.
Like 2-on-2 kind of.
Maybe
to get the most points. Who knows?
So that's where that's a rumor. A rumor may be true. I hope it is, because always down for more modes.
Yep. Not really Nintendo related, but apparently Grand Theft Auto 6 had a huge leak, and a bunch of screenshots and gameplay were leaked, and supposedly it's almost certainly legit.
Yeah, so Monkey Thunder shared this.
If you don't want to know.
Yeah. Yep.
On the lookout to not look. So good luck.
I saw a picture that said the police star rating for the person that leaked GTA 6. You know how you can have like the star, it had like 100 stars. That was pretty funny. But yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, I wonder how many leaks are on purpose, because it would be a pretty crazy strategy for marketing.
Like free advertising, kind of.
I know that anything Nintendo, there's no way it's on purpose. They hate that stuff, at least from what they've described. So
it's just all part of the act.
All part of the plan. All part of the plan to get us hyped. I don't know. It's just a bummer when people work super hard on these games to have them be a surprise, and then for that to be spoiled pre-launch, especially because people then start to form opinions coming into the game. This happened pretty bad for The Last of Us. I remember The Last of Us Part 2. It was leaked in advance that one of the beloved characters would die early on, and people were outraged. And so when the game came out, rather than having that emotional moment, they had already read about it online and didn't get to experience it. So it's like not the way the developers intend for you to experience the game. Not that there's anything wrong with the people reading these things. Well, no, you kind of feed these people, so maybe it is a little wrong. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I just don't like leak culture. I've always been kind of anti-leaker. what can I say? I'm a Nintendo fan, big fan of Mario and plumbing, and plumbers don't like leaks. How do you feel about it, Micah?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I just mostly feel bad for the developers who kind of get the things they worked on spoiled and
Mm-hmm.
kind of ruined and not experienced in the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, it's like kids finding their Christmas presents early. That's no fun. It's like, man, I worked really hard. I was very excited for you to see the surprise and for you to get it in this special way. Now you just found it and I wasn't even there. Like that's a bummer. That's a major bummer. So I you know, my thing out there is just like I encourage people to not support people that do this kind of thing. Um because it just feeds it and just means we'll get more. Going back, we have one more rumor to talk about here. Not also not Nintendo Direct, but Pokemon. Apparently, Game Freak treats Pokemon Nuzlocke the same as ROM hacks. This was disclosed in a recent episode of the Kit and Krista podcast. Kit and Krista talked about how they wanted to try and do a Nuzlocke for a Nintendo Minute episode, and that was the feedback they received. Now, they didn't specify if that was direct from the Pokemon Company or if it was from a higher up within their organization that talked to the Pokemon Company or whatever. But this was refuted by what's his name? Joe something from Cerebi.net. Runs like the official Pokemon wiki. Not official, but Joe Merrick. Works with the Pokemon Company pretty closely all the time. Says Dave confirmed to me that this is incorrect. They have not cut out people for doing Nuzlocke or anything like that. They don't care as long as you follow the confines of what's possible in the game. But it does come around to the issue that Pokemon does not like ROM hackers. They do not like that, and that somewhere along the line, someone within the company thought Nuzlocke and ROM hacks were equivalent. I when I saw that first, the first like thing saying that that Game Freak treats Pokemon Nuzlocke the same as ROM hacks, I was a little surprised. I was like, those are not the same thing at all.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
They're
They're like,
usually used in tandem. So I could see that kind of logic. Like, well, yeah, because usually when you're doing it, not usually. I think a lot of people do Nuzlocke on vanilla games, but a lot of Nuzlockers also do randomizers and use ROM hacks to do their Nuzlocke to make them faster. But I don't know. That's like saying I don't. That's like comparing speed running to ROM hacks or I don't know, challenge runs, like just playing the game in different ways. Who cares? Who cares
well,
how
I
you play
mean,
your
I
game?
could maybe see that if you're talking about Ocarina of Time speed running, where they're just like off screen doing random stuff. As a developer, I feel like I'd be like, "What the heck is this?
Yeah, but this
This
game
is
also.
how we worked so hard on this game, and this is what you do."
Yeah, I mean, but it's like
I mean, I wouldn't really be that upset, but
20
it'd
years
just be
old.
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like people weren't doing that when it first launched. Um, but also, who cares? I mean, it's once the person buys the game, I say let them play it how they want to play it. But I think that definitely it sounds like there's just like miscommunication internally, and this so happens all the time in big corporations like Nintendo, like the Pokemon Company, where some rando higher up gets it into their brain that XYZ is a policy, even if it's not actually written or said anywhere, and they may enforce that within their sphere. And you're like, well, why? And nobody refutes it because, well, they're my boss. Like they said to do it, so I have to do it that way. And like things can get lost in translation, literally, between because they're a global company, but also just in the culture versus what's actually happening versus what people are saying is happening. So who knows? Miscommunication somewhere along the lines here. If some people are saying this doesn't happen at all, and other people are saying, oh, that's on par with ROM hacking. Yep. That's all I got to say about that. And that's going to do it for the rumor mill. Thank you, Rumor Pigment. We appreciate you. But you know who else we appreciate? Our community. And so let's head over to the next segment of our show and let's talk in the community corner. Okay, in today's community corner, we've got a lot of questions. Each and every week, you, the listener, can submit a question or topic you'd like to see us cover. And this is the segment where we do that. So the community corner, let's kick things off here. Micah, first question by Presto the Magnificent.
What's the best kind of cheese?
Yes.
Best kind of cheese is trash cheese that you just throw in the trash. And that's where it gets its name. Any cheese that is in the trash, thrown away.
I am a big fan of smoked cheeses, of all variety. But I'd probably say a smoked Gouda's the one I will be like, oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna go for. I like a good cheese on a cracker. Super good. Mike is not a fan of cheese. It's okay.
Oh,
I'll eat enough cheese to cover for both of us. That's how we'll fix this. Mazithra is another cheese I like. Have that on buttered noodles. We called it white cheese spaghetti growing up. There was no spaghetti sauce. It was just that cheese on buttered noodles. So good. Thanks for the question, Presto. Let's go to the next question. From the King of Anarchy. Not the same person. Or is it?
very different.
What's the
Obviously.
best game that came out in 1990? It's the 90s. Looking that up on the side because you know how we talked about last week how we were going to look this up in advance, and then I totally did that. It's obviously Super Mario World. That's the answer. But
That doesn't count.
But that came out in Japan at that point, right?
Exactly.
So that's a Famicom. I don't care. It's still the best.
Yeah, I'd
What else are we
potentially
gonna
say Super Mario Bros. 3, but I think I used the Japanese release date from 1998, so I feel like I can't use that one this time. So I will potentially go with Punch-Out.
Good choice. Good choice.
Now, which version of Punch-Out is this? I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I feel like I used a Punch-Out in one of my other answers as well, but it was Mr. Dream's Punch-Out,
Yeah.
aka Mike Tyson's.
I probably will use this answer again because Super Mario World is the greatest. I love Super Mario World. Such a fun game. I go back and play that all the time. Thanks so much for the question, the King of Anarchy. Next question.
By Monkey Thunder, what's been your favorite thing about Splatoon 3 so far? I think I might have to give it to the Salmon Run.
I
also,
really like
playing with friends has been good since I hadn't really had that experience with previous Splatoon versions.
And yet we really haven't played together. The two of us.
Well,
We need
I
to do
have
that.
other friends, I'll have you know.
I have other friends. Yeah, I was just saying I haven't had that experience. I've only mostly played the solo. The style of the game. Just the style. I don't know if I need to explain any further than that. This game just oozes like, hey, look how cool we are. Yeah, I really like all the character designs, their dialogue, and the world. It's just awesome. I like Splatoon 3 a lot. Thanks so much for the question, Monkey Thunder. Let's go to the next one. We have a couple more questions from the King of Anarchy. What's the best amiibo? I have an answer if you don't have one ready. I am partial to the Wolf Link amiibo that came in as a bundle with Twilight Princess for the Wii U, and also the Link on Horseback amiibo.
There's just so many good amiibo. I really like the Mega Yoshi, the Yarn Yoshi. It's pretty cool.
Not that Link on Horseback amiibo. Maybe I'm thinking of a different amiibo.
They have the Guardian amiibo. That one's also great.
The Guardian amiibo is pretty cool.
Like 8-bit Mario is another great one. I really like the Ridley amiibo as well, actually.
Oh, maybe it's not. Isn't there an Epona amiibo? Huh. I guess that's it. But yeah, that's a cool amiibo.
Oh man, I forgot 8-bit Link. That one's not quite as good as 8-bit Mario though.
Did you already say Yarn Yoshi?
Heck yeah, I did. The Mega Yarn Yoshi.
Yeah, Mega Yarn Yoshi is pretty cool. There's all those gold ones too.
Oh, I forgot the Metroid on like the broken tank thing. That one's good.
Every Smash Bros amiibo. But yeah, I'm partial to the Breath of the Wild horseback one and the Zelda the Wolf Link. Also, shout out to the new Skyward Sword amiibo. That looks just gorgeous. The Zelda and the Loftwing. It's like crazy well done and detailed. Really cool. Next question.
Is it my turn?
It is you, yes. From the King of Anarchy.
Yeah, King of Anarchy asks, "What are your thoughts on Table Turf Battle?"
Haven't had the chance to try it yet.
You
like
haven't played it yet?
Yeah, like I said, I've been on vacation, so I only got to play the single player, but that is only single player at the moment, so I should have tried it. But
I mean, I've played it like a whole bunch, but I'll probably keep it secret until you've also played it.
Mike is a liar. He hasn't played it. You haven't played it.
How dare you accuse me of such things?
You haven't played it, have you?
Of course I've played it. You got the cards, trying to ink the board.
Oh, yeah. I'm very excited to play it because our Discord has been hyping it up. People on Discord have been saying how great it is. So, very excited to try it. We'll have thoughts on it next week. All right. New question from Mute Dog asks, which of these dreadful punishments would you want to deal with if you lost a Nintendo gaming bet? Note, these punishments will last the rest of your life. No dying, Micah. You're not allowed to die.
To get out of a punishment.
You have to stay alive. Yep.
There's always a loophole.
A, your house is infested with Skulltulas. I've never pronounced this out loud.
Wait, you've never pronounced Skulltulas out loud?
No, I don't think I ever have.
What? I mean, I've always said Skulltulas, kind of like almost separate.
I've always said Skeltulas in my head.
Skeltulas?
That's not how it's spelled at all, but that's how I say it in my head. Skeltulas. Yep.
Maybe it's actually Skulltulas, like tarantula. Skulltula. I'm still going to say Skulltulas.
My mind is blown right now.
Still saying Skulltulas anyway.
So A, yeah, your house is infested with Skulltulas. Or B, fight Girahim every time you leave your house.
Can these be just gold Skulltulas?
No.
Yeah, I'm definitely finding Garahim every time I leave my house.
Heck yeah, same. I don't want these
Absolutely not dealing with that.
Skulltulas. Also, fighting Girahim's easy. Girahim's an absolute easy boss.
Plus, I just never leave your house. Easy.
Also, he has really cool music.
Also, if I lose, I die, and then I don't have to fight him anymore.
Oh, loopholed again. I'll just die to Girahim.
Granted, I feel like Skulltulas could also easily kill me if my house was infested by them.
Another punishment to choose. Would you rather smell like Donkey Kong or smell like King K. Rool? You can't use deodorant. No loophole. You gotta smell like Donkey Kong or King K. Rool.
I mean, King K. Rool is very cool, and I bet he actually smells fantastic. I bet most of the time Donkey Kong is also surprisingly fresh.
He probably smells
But
like
he's
bananas.
no King K. Rool.
He probably smells like bananas. I mean, let's be real. He eats so many bananas.
Yeah, can you imagine banana sweat smell, though?
Probably smells pretty good.
It probably smells horrible.
I don't know. We've got to test this theory. I'll pick Donkey Kong. You pick King K. Rool.
Oh, King K. Rool, easy.
Also, do alligators sweat?
Absolutely not.
I might go with that then. Gators don't have salt glands or warm blood.
Salt glands?
But do alligators sweat? No. They also don't have sweat glands. They release heat through their mouth. What do alligators smell like?
Oh, they're in pretty gross water sometimes, like swampy water. So
the answer is complicated according to Google results, because alligators smell of all sorts of things. They like rotten meat and furry creatures. Alligators are alleged to smell like death.
Oh, I love it.
Dogs can easily detect these smells.
In my answer now.
But will they relate them to the cold-blooded alligator? This is from the article, Can Dogs Smell Alligators?
I mean, the things they've mentioned, I feel like, are more of what their breaths smell like.
Yeah.
I feel like their entire body probably doesn't smell like furry creatures and rotten meat.
Yeah, I mean, I think I also got to go with King K. Rool because, listen, Donkey Kong's a mammal. And those mammals, they get stanky without deodorant.
You know what they say about mammals?
They're stinky. Stinky people. Those mammals. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with as well. Final punishment. Which of these characters would you prefer to talk as? A. You have Bowser's voice and uncontrollably breathe fire occasionally. Or B. You talk like an Animal Crossing character with a word bubble above your head. What do you pick, Micah? Yeah.
Animal Crossing.
Oh, okay. I feel like you're going to say Bowser. And
Are you insane?
I'm going to completely disagree with you because, yeah, Animal Crossing is
fire? Can you imagine if you slept talked? Sleep talked? Slept talked? What the heck? Sleep talked, right? I don't know how to say that all of a sudden.
What's happening?
Slept talked? That can't be right. It has to be sleep talked.
Sleep talked. Okay. Animal Crossing character with word bubble of my head. All the way. They have such a nice sounding voice.
You wouldn't be able to, like, whisper to your friends in a movie theater, though. That would obscure the view of the people behind you. And they would know.
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't think... I think I like the sound of Animal Crossing villager voices. And they vary a lot. You can get deep ones, you know? Like, you talk to any of the rhinoceros characters, they're always like... Blah, 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 blah. There you go. Not much of a punishment, because people could still understand you. Bowser, no one would understand you.
Yeah.
Except for Mario, potentially.
But when do you ever talk to him?
At the end of every game and beginning of every game, you taunt him as you take Princess Peach,
you
and then
wouldn't
at the
be
end,
Bowser.
you
You
just
would
talk to
just
him.
talk like him.
Oh, you're right. Well, as soon as you talk like Bowser, I mean, it's just one thing to another. Then you be Bowser. then you're kidnapping Princess Peach. You're storming the castle. You're building elaborate lava pit traps, and next thing you know, you're a single dad with 8 children and a lot of debt, and it's a hard life. Animal Crossing Villager. That's why we go with that. Next question from Purple Riolu.
Yep. Asked, what is your opinion on listening to podcasts at normal speed versus accelerated?
I listen to my podcasts at half speed because it's way funnier. Have you ever listened to a podcast that's slower speed? You should listen to our podcast at like 0.75 or 0.5 speed. We sound like so slow. Like mentally slow. like we're just like
We're really thinking hard to say
so
what we're saying.
What about the thing were you thinking? It's like so. It is so painful, but so funny sounding. I tend to listen to podcasts at normal speed. I've tried listening at faster speeds, and on occasion, when I'm really backed up on podcasts that I want to listen to, I will bust out the old 1.25, but I can't go much beyond that because
1.25.
Yeah,
that's weak.
Well, it's because double speed to me, it's too fast. It's too fast.
It's the
And
perfect fast.
there's also like a silence trimmer, but that like messes up the cadence of the conversation in a lot of cases. And you just like miss pauses that really add to the effect of the conversation, or will just make things make no sense. And you'll just hear people saying a bunch like right next to each other. It just does
That's awesome.
Yeah. I recommend giving it a try, but not for me. I like to listen to things at normal speed.
Yeah, I tend to listen to things a little accelerated, especially if they're like
You would
school for like in college. I get like a school assignment, and they're like, "Watch this 40-minute video that
Oh,
explains these
now
things."
that's different. I'll listen to that at double speed. Yeah,
double speed all the way.
Yep.
As fast as it lets me go.
Or if I have to do like reading in college, I developed a trick of like, oh yeah, read this article, and then I look at the article and be like, whew, that's a hefty article. I just put on text to speech, and I just listen to it.
I was like, wow, that's a big article. I'm gonna guess on the quiz. I mixed quiz and test.
I'm gonna guess on the quest. There you go. But yeah, I think slow speed is funny to listen to. One of these days we'll have to just release the podcast faster. so people
you have to listen at half speed,
or we release it slower, so people listening at the half speed, people listening at the double speed will hear us normal.
I have a feeling people will love
that. Like, how do I turn it up even faster? Thank you for the question, Purple Rulu. Next question. The King of Anarchy. Man, quite the anarchist question list this week. Thank you for all the questions, Presto. We do appreciate it. What's your favorite fan theory? What you got, Micah?
The good old fan theory of Cubone from Pokemon. Where he's a Kangaskhan whose mother died, and then he wears her skull and her thigh bone or something. I don't know. Her femur. It's his club.
Yeah, the only problem with this theory is that has to happen a whole bunch. Because there's not just one Cubone.
Hey, the world of Pokemon is dangerous, yo.
All the Kangaskhan's be dying. And all of their
I
children
mean,
wear
why do
their...
you think Kangaskhan are so rare? Because of poachers making all these Cubones.
Um, my fan theory
I
I'm
don't
going to
know if I
pick...
should say that's my favorite. It's like really sad and depressing of the fan theory.
My favorite fan theory that comes to mind right off the bat is the Ditto is a failed Mew clone theory.
Oh, is that only a fan theory?
That is only a fan theory. Lots of evidence for it in the game based off of their size. It's based off their size, where you find Ditto, and also their shiny and normal colors being the same. Yeah.
Wait, really? Their shiny version is the same as their normal? How disappointing.
No. Like, I believe
Oh, compared to Mew.
Shiny Ditto is blue and Shiny Mew is blue
Oh, okay. I was like,
as well.
what? First of all, what does that have to do with Mew? But how lame is that? That's cool.
No. Yeah.
I guess also the theory that Missingno is actually a Pokemon that was in a Pokeball that essentially got lost and then damaged, and it slowly
Why?
got corrupted.
Why do you like these just dark theories? I don't understand. And then there's like a whole bunch of Zelda theories that I think are interesting, but nothing that like screams to me is like, oh, that's my favorite. I like the connections between Majora's Mask and the fused shadow from Twilight Princess. Very similar looking mask pattern and design, and also they're both scary and give crazy octopus power things. um, and just how the games connect. I think all the Zonai theories for Breath of the Wild are fascinating, and there's a lot of like lore you can dive into with Breath of the Wild if you want to dig into that. I might talk about that more in future podcast episodes because I want to do more research on it myself before I talk about it more. But I think those are cool. It's interesting to hear how that all connects. There you go. Pokemon. Last question. Third Strongest Mole asks, or says, makes a statement, and then asks a question. It's Plocktoberfest. Woohoo! How will you be celebrating? How will you be celebrating Plocktoberfest this year? I'm gonna beat Plock this year. That's my goal. We're gonna do it. We're gonna beat the game. We're going to finally conquer the childhood Andross's hardest game, Plock. Gonna do it. It's Plocktober. It's time. It's time. The people have been demanding this for decades, and now we're finally gonna do it. This Plocktober, I beat Plock. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll also be so I'll be streaming Plock. I'll probably be talking about Plock. We'll probably do another Plock segment. We did a whole Plock episode last year for Plocktober. And for those that don't know, Plock is a game from the Super Nintendo, mascot platformer, a gem, a forgotten hidden gem of a game that was latched onto by the shared communities of Retro Logic, Nintendo Pals, and All In. And it's time. It comes once a year, but once a year we have time to celebrate one of the greatest games ever. It's super fun. I like it a lot, actually. Like not ironic, not a meme. I like Plock a lot. I think it's really fun. It's also really hard. I want to see you play this game, Mike. I know you were going to say you were about to say I'm not going to do anything because
Absolutely not what I was going to say.
what
I
did you
was
say?
going to say I'm going to do what I do every year, which is absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
There was a little bit more to it. Selling me short there. Wow.
Yeah, selling yourself short here because you're not participating in the rising block market.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I just don't have access to Plock. Because maybe in Plock's honor, I will be playing through Earthworm Jim.
Not the same, but
Practically the same.
but I commend your effort in avoiding this game. It's
Would I have to buy
quite
a
impressive.
system and then buy the game to be able to play it? It'd be expensive.
All right, Nintendo. SNES Online. Release Plock, you cowards. I dare you. It's October. Come in here in just a couple weeks. Now is the time. Let's start petitioning now. Everybody go out to Twitter. Hashtag Plocktober. We got the hashtag seen by a lot of people last year. Like a lot of people that have nothing to do with our community were like, "What is this Plocktober?"
Yeah, there was a lot of confusion, I'm sure.
Oh man, it's a great game. Plock needs to come back. He needs to come back. Let's do it. SNES Online. Here for it. Alrighty. Well, that is going to be a wrap on this episode of Nintendo Pals Podcast. We did have a PAL topic, but we're going a little late, so we'll probably call it here, and we'll talk about this PAL topic in a future episode. What makes a Nintendo Direct good? That's a teaser, my friends, as we'll be talking about that potentially next week.
Hopefully you remember for next week.
Well, we just copy paste the notes and then fill it with new stuff,
true.
so it should still be there. So we will remember. Unless you delete it right now. Which, Micah, that'd be very sad. I was just waiting for the opportunity to use this.
That would be sad.
Yeah.
Wow.
The music, can you not hear it?
Oh, no, I can't hear the music. I was like, wow, you been waiting for that?
No, I put in the sad Fire Emblem song, and you can't even hear it. What are you doing? How?
Yeah, just remember, don't be sad, because sad backwards is Das, and Das not good.
That's not good.
I don't remember where I saw that first, but it has stuck with me.
But you know what's not sad, Micah, is that as we wrap up this episode, we get to do the Patreon shout out, which don't click away. Don't leave, because you will be missing out on one of the greatest rap songs Micah has ever done.
One of
the greatest rap song.
Well,
it is the only.
I mean, I've done a multitude of rap songs. I just thought this was my peak.
Oh, it's so good. But before we go, I just want to remind you that you can follow Nintendo Pals on social medias. We're all over the interwebs. We are on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, TikTok, and all the podcast listening apps. Reminder, please leave us a 5-star review. It helps people find the show, helps us get seen, helps boost us up in the search algorithm. Google goes, ooh, that's nice. I like those 5 stars. And then sends us all over the place. So please do that. That was unnecessarily creepy, Google. I apologize, everybody. I don't know what's with the high-pitched voice for me today. It's the vacation. I don't know what
you used up all your normal and deep voice on vacation.
Yeah, now I'm talking with my true voice. Oh, hello, It's me. Huge thanks and shout out to our friend Roger Pollard for our logo and for the intro theme that we use in every episode of the podcast. If you want to check out more of his stuff, please do. You can find links to his socials in the description of the episode. And as always, let's close out here with the Patreon Pokey Rap. We gotta rap some Patreon.
You just do the singing. I'll take care of the hard part.
Let's get it on.
We want to be the best that ever was. And shout out our pals over on Patreon.
LPD, Rizzle, Retro Logic Dave, U-Dog Gamer, Slim Tor, Spanish, and Solo Something, Brian, Little Miss 7, and Cosmic.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon.
K9 Katina, Third Strongest One, Tim the Nintendo Daddle, Lance Seth Sturgill, Monkey Thunder, Purple Yoda, Dat Fast John, and Lava Plays 2.
Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon. Let's get 150 or more, yeah, please. To be a Patreon donor is your destiny.
Thank y'all so much for listening. Tune in next week for more Nintendo Pals podcast. Bye-bye.